So welcome officially again to Retrofitting Existing Content with DesignPlus. I am going to share how I have retrofitted my existing content. And so the first thing I wanted to do is just kind of show you a couple examples of what I am referring to. So this is a non-DesignPlus module overview page. So this is what I was using before I retrofitted. And then I want to show you what it looks like with DesignPlus. And this is the same example that was pasted in the slide at the general session. But you can see that the information is chunked in more digestible pieces. It's got some pretty colorful icons, a progress bar at the bottom. So just kind of like tightens everything and makes everything look really pretty. I'll show you one more example. Here's a non-DesignPlus page. This is like a page I would use for a lecture, right, into literary theory. And so I have the video and some questions and then a lot of text. And this was optional material. So what I did on the new page with DesignPlus is I still have my video, I still have my listening questions, which are more emphasized with that block. And then the dig deeper optional text is actually an expander here that they can click on and close if they'd like to. So it makes the content, I think, a bit more digestible. So I want to show you how to go from the non-DesignPlus to the DesignPlus page. And I did notice there might be a couple people who still need to figure out how to turn on the DesignPlus tools. So we can start there. Ideally, you would have one of your own courses open and you could follow along and retrofit a page as we go along. And I can do it multiple times. I can go slow, but we can actually do this together. So I will give everyone just a moment to get to a page that they would like to retrofit in their course, and then we can start. In the meantime, are there any questions before we dive in?
Yeah, this is Kathy Robertson.
Hi.
I don't have any, I go from studio, tutoring, student support, Office 365, and Tech Connect Zoom. I don't have that thing that you were referring to, that whatever it was. I don't have the multi-tool.
The multi-tool, okay.
Or so, NetTutor. My home screen does not look like yours.
You're talking about these tabs on the
left. Right.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a course. And so in order to customize what you see here, you would go into settings at the very bottom of your navigation.
Okay.
And then you would go over to the navigation tab at the top.
Yeah.
And then, so the only visible tabs that students can see are the ones that are in the top. But if you go to the bottom, there's a slew of other links here. So if you want to turn on the multi-tool, you would find it in here and you would drag it up, or you would click the three dots to enable it.
I got it drug up.
And then when you've done that to all the links that you want visible, you click save at the bottom.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just start with that for now. Okay.
So that is how you enable the multi-tool.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
I've been doing this for 22 years, but this just seemed really hard.
Yeah, no, I know. And you know what, you cataloged so many different technologies that you're using and softwares that you're using. It's a lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's changed a lot. I mean, from WebCT to here over 20 years and learning new systems.
Yeah.
This was frustrating. Okay, great. Multi-tools there. So now I can do what you're saying.
Wonderful. So, but I did want to clarify that this is not the multi-tool breakout session.
I know.
Okay. So
So wait, then Do we need something else enabled for this session then?
I'm going into it right now, yes. So
Okay.
if you haven't already, go into a page that you would like to design during today's session, and you will click on edit. So make sure you go into edit mode. And then if you are on a Mac, you will hit Option Shift D. And I just did that, and you can see that that design tools sidebar popped out on the side. And if you are using a PC, let me grab the commands for the PC.
It was Control-1, Bree.
Control-1.
Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to put them up here one more time. Control-1 is the easiest, or you can hit Alt-Shift-D. Okay, so that is your keyboard command.
When you hit edit.
After you've clicked edit,
Uh-huh.
you will do those keyboard commands depending on whether you're using a PC or a Mac. And then the design tools should pop out here on the right-hand side.
Hmm.
So you would hold down Control and press 1 at the same time on your keyboard if you're using a PC. Did that work for folks?
It isn't working for me, and maybe I'm just doing this wrong.
Are you on a PC or a Mac?
I'm on a PC, yeah.
Okay, and then you went into edit mode in your
I
page.
was trying to edit a discussion.
Okay, that should work.
Let me try an assignment and see if that is better.
In the meantime, okay.
This isn't on the, so I need to do this from the module page.
So you can go into any page in your course, and I would recommend maybe try going to pages,
Okay,
and then just go to view all pages and choose any page and click edit.
okay.
And yeah, if you're just joining us, you can go ahead and go to any Canvas page in any course that you'd like to retrofit for today's session.
Okay, and then I click on edit and just click on the edit.
Click
Okay.
edit, and then on your keyboard, click Control-1. And for me, I'm on a Mac, so it's slightly different. It's Option-Shift-D. Oops. Over here. And you can see that it just pops out there on the right. Okay. Thank you everyone in the chat for the support. And so the next piece, once you see that pop out, is to hit this gear icon on the right here on the very right-hand side. And then you can select the automatically launch tools and show the launch button. And that way, I will save this page and I'll go back into edit. I won't have to now do those keyboard shortcuts anymore. The design tools will just pop out automatically. So again, to make sure that they're popping out automatically, gear icon, and you can toggle on these first two buttons here. DesignPlus also allows you to choose a comfort level, which is pretty good. And that way we don't have to be overloaded. If all we want are the basic features, you can select the basic tools. If you want some intermediate features, you can click intermediate, and advanced, you can click advanced. That will give you everything. I've done the intermediate. I haven't needed yet an advanced feature. And so you can see that I have the advanced tools turned off. but all the intermediate ones are turned on. So that's a good recommendation. All right, and let me know if I need to slow down at all. Is everyone good so far?
I'm still having trouble. I'm starting at a module. At the module level. I'm clicking on edit.
So are you in a page?
No. I
Okay.
tried that before and it flipped me out somewhere. Just okay. I can be on a page. So I'm on a page right now.
Okay, and then click edit.
Okay, I clicked on edit.
Okay, and then on your keyboard,
Right.
press and hold down the control button and then the number 1.
Okay, and what it does is it flips me to dog pile. It flips me to a open server. It does not do.
Okay, can you try?
Oh, wait. Okay, design tools. Okay, just a minute. I clicked back on the page and it shows things. Okay,
Okay, great.
so what am I supposed to click on?
So I'm going to go through it right now.
Okay, okay,
So if you haven't already, go ahead and click the gear icon in the first 2 buttons, and then I recommend turning on the intermediate features. And then you can close that when you're done.
okay. So I have looks like a puzzle piece and a round circle.
Right, so the gear icon all the way to the right.
All the way to the right. Okay, click on
Design
that
tool
one.
settings.
Okay,
Toggle on the first 2 automatically launch tools and
Okay.
show launch button. And then select intermediate for the comfort level. And then you can close this pop-up box when you're done.
so
Okay.
you automatically launch tours. I'm supposed to click on that. Okay, and launch button.
Yes,
Sorry. And then the launch button.
yes,
Okay,
and intermediate.
intermediate. Okay,
And
gotcha.
then you can close that pop-up box. So I'm going to move on. All right, and so the first thing that I want to tell you guys about is the theme. Okay, so you notice here on my module overview page that I have a header at the top. I was able to insert an image and the icons are all in the center. That is the theme. So the theme is the overall structure of the page. So what I want you all to do is click on the puzzle piece, the green and white puzzle piece button on the design tool sidebar. And then underneath where it says institutional themes, you'll see Apple 1, Apple 2, basic bar. You can hover over these and that will show you kind of a snapshot of what the template will be once you click on it. For me, I really like flat because I like the icons in the center, but you can go ahead and choose any theme that you'd like. Any theme that you'd like. If you want to follow along strictly with me, you can go ahead and click the flat sections too. Flat sections too. Okay. And you'll know that you've chosen it because there'll be an asterisk next to the one that you've chosen. So it doesn't look like much yet because we have to build this out. All right. So what I do is I can now edit all of these fields. So if we want to make it look exactly the same, I will actually put module 1 here. So you can highlight and edit the text. Right. And then instead of having this module 1 overview in the blue part of the banner, what I did was I actually put my image there. And I don't think, yeah, it should work. So I am going to delete this text and leave it blank. And you can use the same image tool that you would use in the rich content editor, right? So you can either insert image, course images, right? And let's see if I can find my module overview. Here it is. So I'm going to select module overview. And there it goes. And that is how I did my header. I'll go back and change all the colors for it at the very end.
Whoa,
Okay.
like it.
So you have to have already created that little picture module overview thing, right?
Yes, and this is something I created in Canva. Now,
Okay.
if you instead wanted to choose a banner image, you have that option down here underneath that theme. And instead you can choose anything that's already in there. I think for institutions, we have some stock images, or if you have any images in your course, you can also select those here. And that's under choose a banner image. So that's an option as well. Or you don't have to do an image here, right? You could just leave the text if you wanted it to be text. How are we doing so far?
How do you get a banner? Oh, I see. Okay. So because Canva means you have to do a whole nother training session to make sure you know how to do that.
Yeah,
Right?
that's a whole
So-
separate thing.
So how do you get easier than that is you go under choose a banner image?
That's correct. Choose a banner image. There's going to be some stock images here. If you just want to put one in as a placeholder for now, you can do that as well.
Choose banner image. All right.
Or like I mentioned, the image isn't necessary, right? You could just have your text. So if you're looking for a banner option, I'll delete this so that I can do it one more time. I did it through insert image, but if you want to use the DesignPlus sidebar here, I'll close this so you can see where it is. First, we did a theme. The choose a banner image is right underneath. And you can select an image from the stock images if you'd like. Or if you,
I'm sorry, Bri, but did you see the image? It won't fit inside the box. It's like it was under the blue box, not inside that blue box.
yes, so what you can do, I believe if you hit backspace, you can delete that. You can delete that extra space by hitting backspace.
So on the assorted banners, there are only 5 to choose from. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. I already had one, so I've got it. It's from my course content link. It's a picture of
Okay.
children in the playground, so it works. At least I understand how to do this.
Wonderful.
Right.
So I'm going to choose from my course images since I do have the one that will go with our colors later on. So I'm going to just select my module overview. I'm going to backspace that empty space. Okay. So now we should all have a header, right? We should all have a banner for our page. Now the next piece is to add content blocks. So are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay. So first step always with retrofitting is choose a theme with the puzzle piece. The second step is going to be add content blocks right here. So go ahead and select that add content blocks button.
Wait. Which one was that? Oh, add the content. I got it. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to delete this extra image. Okay. So if you are working on your own page to retrofit, what I want you to do, anything that you want to be its own section. So for me, it's assignments and deadlines. I definitely want this to be its own section on the page. I am going to turn this into a header 3. Header 3. So I have assignments and deadlines, and I have learning outcomes. Those are definitely two sections that I'm going to want to have chunked on the page. So I'm going to turn those into header 3s by using the rich content editor. So I just highlighted the words learning outcomes, came up here and selected header 3.
Okay, just a minute. Could you show that again? I'm trying to look at mine and okay.
Okay, so assignments and deadlines, I'm going to highlight that whole thing. Come over right next to where you see the bold italics underline, and I'm going to select header 3. This will be important in the next step. Okay. Okay, now here's the fun part. I am going to highlight everything I want in a section. So assignments and deadlines plus my table. Okay, all of that is highlighted. Now I'm going to click this selection to block button right here. Selection to block, and I'm going to click on it. And you see now how it automatically made its own section. Let me know if that worked for you, if you had any trouble.
So are we still working with the page we were working with, or are we going to the adding the block of like assignments? Okay, I got that.
Everything is on the same page for today's session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So I will take the next one so I can show you again. Let's say I want learning outcomes to be its own section on the page. I'm going to highlight the title and the content that I want blocked or sectioned off. And then I'm going to hit the selection to block button here. And so once I click it, you'll notice it's going to shift. So I'll do it now. And you can see it brought it up, and now it's a section and it's within the design tools wrapper, which tells me that it worked. I'm going to save so you can see how it changed. And you might want to click save on your page so you can see how it changed for you as well. But it brought up assignments and deadlines here into its own section, as well as the learning outcomes.
Okay.
Are you all still with me?
Oh, yeah.
No, I couldn't get the header 3 thing done.
Okay, so let's go back. In the original page that is not yet blocked, you will highlight whatever you want to be a section, the title of it. So it might be assignments and deadlines, or it might be learning outcomes or assignments or something, activities. Highlight just those words and make it a header 3.
Did that. Okay.
So I don't see the option for header 3. Is it under like edit or paragraph or?
So right above the rich content editor, where you see the bold, italics, underline, all of those buttons right above your text.
Yeah, so that spot says paragraph right now.
Yes, so click on that and then change it to header 3.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah, and now highlight from the title down to the bottom of that section. Whatever you want chunked, just that one section, highlight that and then select selection to block in the DesignPlus tools.
I'm having, I can highlight the videos to keep it in the blog. Any other, like any direction to do that?
The videos are a little bit tricky. You may have to cut and paste the video afterwards once we're all done. So do it without the video for now, and then I can show you how to move the video. Those are a little bit finicky.
And Bree, can we edit again? Re-edit it if we change our mind, or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So a couple things. So when I was first starting out, I admit that I I broke the page a couple times because I clicked the wrong thing. So let's say you completely ruin your page and you're just like devastated, right? You can come back to the 3 dots here and go to view page history. And you can revert back to an earlier version and you can click on the one that you want. So if I wanted to start over, I would go back to this, right? And I can click
Okay.
restore this version, right? So know that you always have that option. Don't spend 2 hours trying to fix your mistake. Just start over. It's probably faster to just start it over, right?
Okay, thank you.
This is also an argument for saving after each step, right? So if you just want to block one section and save it and go back in, then block the next section and save it. That way you can just go back to one smaller step instead of starting all the way over. At least when you're first starting out. When you get more confident, then you can do multiple changes without saving. But as you're starting out, I recommend saving frequently for that reason alone.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back into my page. Or how are we all doing with adding content to doing the blocks? Did we all get at least one?
I got 2.
2? Yeah, that's so exciting. Okay,
And Bree, can I ask a quick question?
yeah.
So I just started randomly with one, but now I don't like the order. Can you drag and can I change the order? Do you understand what I'm saying? Or do I have to undo?
Yes. No, so good segue. That's where I'm headed next.
Oh, okay, shutting up.
No. This is a very, very smart question. This is where I was too. So you are now going to want to click on create edit content. Create edit content, and it will expand a bunch of options for you. You are going to go to the add rearrange content blocks. Add rearrange content blocks. Okay. These, and you can see the light blue highlighting as I hover over a different section.
Ah, okay.
This is where you can drag and drop. So you see the double-ended arrows, Kim, on the left. You can drag and drop, and now I move my learning outcomes up above my table. Or if you want them underneath, you just drag and drop it underneath.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Exciting.
Isn't this so fun, you guys?
Yeah, it is. Once you get through the first steps, and I'm sure, is there some kind of a tutorial besides the one
Yes.
you're doing here? Is
Yes.
there? Okay.
So this is being recorded. All the other breakout rooms are also being recorded. We also have that self-enroll course that the City Labs, which is the vendor for DesignPlus, they have an entire course with pages walking you step by step through.
Oh,
how to do
good.
it.
Okay,
So yes, we have tons of resources for you.
great.
Bri, I have a
Okay.
question.
Yes.
Can you guys, like, for this training to be earlier a little bit than this time, when like earlier to the beginning of the semester?
Yeah, so yes, that was the goal. Cuyamaca's DesignPlus did not get turned on until very late in the summer. And then I had to learn it in a very short amount of time to be able to do this for you today. But I can still have DesignPlus sessions throughout the semester. You can make an appointment with me and we can do, pages one-on-one. And then, yeah, so I'm frustrated too.
Okay.
Yeah, it just took a really long time for this to get turned on, unfortunately. Grossmont has had it for, I think, a year now.
Oh, I never knew that, so.
Yeah. Beth.
Thank you, Bri.
Yes, of course.
Just a quick question to make sure that I'm understanding. Big
Mhm.
picture is we go into our existing pages and first we have to identify our content blocks within the design tools features, because otherwise it doesn't have content blocks to organize. So once we have identified all of the different contents, then we can go back in next to rearrange them or add them, etc. Correct?
Yeah, and if you don't already have a header for a block, then that's something you would want to add. So if I didn't have the header learning outcomes, I'd want to type that in manually and then turn that into a header 3.
Got it.
The
Thank you.
the other thing that I can tell you, and I see your hand, Jeffrey, if you can give me one moment. Let's say that you wanted to add blocks to this, okay? So you don't have any more content, but you want to add more. You will go to the end of your last block that's currently on your page. You can go back to add content blocks, and you notice there's some ones that you can just click on. So for me, I added a resources one. You don't see that here, but I'm gonna just choose like a random one. Let's say I want to choose activities. I will add that here, and it'll put it right underneath the last one. And now I can come in here and change this to resources. Okay. So if you want preset ones, you can go in here and add as many as you want, right? I just added all of these, right? And it comes with preset icons, and I'll show you how to change those out in just a moment. Let's say you're like, ooh, I didn't need all those. On your add rearrange content blocks, you can delete these here with the red X.
So if you have, I see all of these, you know, the introduction objectives, the institutional block templates. What if you want to add one that isn't on there?
That's where I would just type in. You can also type in, let's say, I don't know what to call it right now. You want to call it test.
So that's create a new content block. I was thinking like discussions.
Sure, yeah. If you wanted a discussions one, then you would hit the plus sign and it would add it for you there.
Okay, all right.
I like to just click a preset one because it comes with an icon and then I change it out. It depends on your workflow, right? If you want to just add one and hit the plus sign, you can do that too. And then I'll show you how to add an icon in just a moment.
Okay.
I want to make sure I get Jeffrey's question.
Hi, Bree, thanks.
Hi.
Can you demonstrate how to add an expanding block?
I will, yes. I want to make sure we get through this piece first. If you want to jump ahead, it's going to be under the add advanced elements.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me show you one of my favorite things next. All right, do you all see the little blank gray square next to the title of your blocks? Do you see this? And this one has an icon already. It's under add rearrange content blocks.
Mm-hmm.
There should be a gray square next to the left of your title of your block.
Well, I have that, but it's under discussions.
Right, it might be a different name. So let's say I want to add an icon to my assignments and deadlines, right?
Okay.
I'm going to click this gray square. And a custom icon pop-up opens. And I want something that's, you know, relevant to assignments. So I'm going to just type in assignment. And I'm going to just select the one that I like. And it puts it in there for you.
Okay.
Cool. So if I keep scrolling down to another block, let's say I want one for learning outcomes. I can come over, make sure you select the gray square next to learning outcomes first. Otherwise, it's going to change the one that you're currently on. And then I'm going to search for something like maybe a check mark. And then I can select that and it'll put in a check mark right there for me. My resources one it's not really like aligned, the little beaker. So I'm going to click the beaker to change it. And I use the same one for all resources. You can decide what you like. I like this little signpost here. So I will select that.
Okay.
And so that's how you can add your icons to your sections.
Okay.
Wow.
Right, I did it.
It's one of my favorite things, y'all.
I'm lost again. I'm at add rearrange content box, and then I don't know where you went from there.
Okay, so choose the block that you want to icon. I'll turn it into a verb. So let's say you have one that's called activities, right? Next to the words activities on the left, you should see a blank gray square.
So choose what? So I select the block that I want to icon.
Okay, so are you in the DesignPlus tools on the right-hand side?
Yeah, I'm in the DesignPlus tools and I have add rearrange content blocks.
Perfect. Okay, so you should see a list of content blocks that you've created already.
So I have module 1, banner image, first section, second section.
Okay, so next to first section on the left, to the left of the words first section,
Uh-huh.
you should see a blank gray square. And if you hover over it, it should say change icon.
A blank gray square, change icon. Okay, got it.
Click that.
Okay.
And then custom icons pop-up opens. And then where it says search icons, you can just type in one that works for whatever content you have there.
Okay,
And then you can select it.
got it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And then, yeah, no problem. The other thing you can do here is you can remove it if you don't like it or if you decide you don't want an icon. Jeffrey,
Okay.
is that a new hand? Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to save just to see where we are. And you can see I've got icons now. I've got my blocks, right? And you can save if you'd like to kind of see your progress. I do want to show you colors because you can see if you're at Cuyamaca, it's going to be a blue banner by default. If you're at Grossmont, I believe it'll be a green banner by default. But I'm teaching a Black literature course and you can see my course images that I use throughout are like red and green and orange and black. And so the blue doesn't really work with that image. So I am going to go back into edit. Let me check the chat. If you change the theme, will the block stay? Okay, let me see. So if you go back to create, let's see, choose the theme. If I were to change it to like Apple, it just shifts where the icons are and it just makes the blocks look a little bit different, but you don't have to start over. So if you wanted to switch over to bookmark, you can see it has little bookmarks for the headers. So you don't have to redo everything. No problem. Okay, colors. So I want my banner to, let's see what I did over here. I want it to be black and I want this burnt orange kind of bubble. Okay. All right. So I am going to, let's see, customize the style. Customize the style. I'll show that one more time. Customize the style in the sidebar, and then you'll see colors for banner theme. Customize the style, colors for banner theme. These squares tell you which color each item is, right? So the section, and if you wanted to see, you can hover over the eyeball and it will show you which section is that color. So it's customize the style, colors for banner theme. So I'm going to change this blue to black. So I can just drag this all the way over to black, or I can select a color from here. It's pulling the colors from my image here, which is pretty cool. So you notice that it changed as I drag this, it's changing the color of that ribbon, right? So I want it to be black, so I will click choose. Okay. And you notice the squares here change from blue to black. To make this little bubble here a different color, I know that it's white because I see that here. I'm going to click on it And I'm gonna go over to my burnt orange. There we go. And now it matches the image underneath. What it does also, it will tell you the accessibility score for the color of the text versus the background. So this ribbon is black and the text is white. So the more A's, the better. You want 2 A's or 3 A's, just know more A's, the better for accessibility. This would fail if I change this to, see how it fails when I change it to red. So you just want to make sure that it has a green passing for accessibility.
Okay.
So I'll save one more time and we can see now the little ribbon at the top matches in color to the image. Okay.
Okay, so since the only image I have is the Grossmont College thing, then I only have 2 color choices.
No,
Oh,
so
you have a bunch.
yeah, if you go into colors for banner theme and you select the color, you can drag this to any color, and then you can drag this to any shade within that to get whatever color you want. So the last thing I'm going to do, because I do want to get to the expander question, I want to show you how to change the color of the icon. Okay. So you can notice on my DesignPlus version, the icon is orange and it has white text, right? Because I want it all to look uniform and pretty. So I'm going to click on the icon, right there on the icon. And I am going to select current element style. Current element style. It's under the customize the style button, and then current element style. When I open that, I can see that because my cursor is on it, I know that it's telling me about the icon because my cursor is on that icon. So the background currently is white and the text is currently blue. You guys with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if we go, I forgot what I said. Orange background. So let's go orange background and white text. And you see how it just changed that for me. If I want to do the next one, I will click. I don't have to do anything in the design toolbar now if I'm just going to the next icon. If I click on it, I know it went to the next one because you see how now the text is blue, background is white. I want that to be orange. And I just continue going through all my icons until they're all uniform. So again, I was under current element style, under customize the style, and then you're looking for those colorful squares if you're looking to do anything with color in DesignPlus. How are we doing, y'all?
Good.
Okay. So now we're pretty close to my pretty version here. I do want to show the module progress bar because that seems to be really popular. Okay, I'm going to go into edit. All right, go to the bottom of your page. Put your cursor at the end of the last block that you have. Put your cursor at the end of the last block that you have, and then add content blocks. Selection to block. And it's going to be blank. Put your cursor in that blank space. Add advanced elements on the right.
One more time.
Yep. Put your cursor at the end of the last block that you have. and then click add content blocks, and then selection to block. And it should create a blank space underneath. And that is where I'm going to put my cursor, in that blank space. Okay.
I don't see selection to block.
Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yeah,
Okay, so there's an add content blocks button right here at the top.
okay,
And then when you click on it at the bottom of that pop-up window, you'll see selection to block in the bottom left-hand corner.
okay,
Okay, that will, if you click on it, it'll give you a blank space. And put your cursor in that blank space. Okay, and then let's come over here and click on add advanced elements. Add advanced elements. And then you will go down to module progress / navigation. Module progress / navigation. You have 4 choices to choose from, and it's kind of showing you here what they would look like on the screen. The first one is flat. It's a simple, it'll give the module name at the bottom, and then it will tell the student how many of the pages they've seen so far. So make the module overview page is probably 1 of whatever. When they go to the next one, it will say 2 of whatever. This is the one that I have on on my example. It's a progress bar that shows them where they are in the module with the icon that corresponds to each page. So it'll be an assignment page if the next item is an assignment, etc. The module item details, this will give them a whole list of pages in the module if you do that. And then the module item completion, it indicates with a check mark the things that they have done. I believe that the students must mark them as done though. I don't think that happens automatically. Anyways, I like the second one. So I'm gonna do that. So you can insert at cursor. It doesn't look like much when you're in edit view. So we'll have to save it in order for it to look like a module progress bar. Before we do, I do want to change the color. And yes, Jennifer.
Sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
I just wanted to ask, I was thinking about the accessibility checker. So if I design some things with this, will it show up with the same kind of like little meter that I have for my images, or is this automatically accessible design?
Yeah, great question. So you can check the accessibility of the page you're working on down here with check accessibility. You can check the heading outline. You'll see green check marks if the heading outline is accurate. You can do an image check. So I forgot to mark this as decorative, so I'll need to do that. Notice my little canvas person also disappeared when I did that. It was kind of flagged in both places. And you can also do a link check. I'd have to go through these. Oh, it's my my links in my table that I want to fix. So it's pretty good. It will tell you all the issues that you have with accessibility, and then it will give you kind of instructions on how to fix them.
Thank you.
Great question. We were in advanced elements with the progress bar. Okay. So I just inserted this one at cursor at the bottom of my page. Now I am going to click on it to change the color. So to change the color, I'm going to go to customize the style. Current element style, same like we did with the icons. Current element style. We see this blue square, that's what I'm looking for. I want this to be black. I'm going to drag and choose, and it changed it to black. And then I'm going to save. At the bottom, we should, yep, there's our progress bar, right? So in my module, I have a content page, an assignment, a link, and a discussion, right? So students can see what's ahead. Okay. Last thing I'm going to do before I jump over to the expander. Go back into edit. You guys notice that there's like some extra space on my page and some things that are just kind of floating out there that I don't want. Anything that was on your existing page that you don't want, like I don't need these double lines, I'm just clicking underneath them and clicking backspace to remove those. Okay, and then the last thing you'll want to do, add content blocks one more time. You can remove empty. Remove empty. So when I do that, I click on it, it will delete all of the things that I never put content in that are just sitting there empty for no, for no reason. And then I'll save it and I'll show you that really does wonders because you can see now how it's tighter. There's not these extra enters or blocks with nothing in them. Okay. Okay. How did we do with retrofitting a page?
Well, I retrofitted an assignment, so I'm gonna have to go back and do the modules, but I got the basic
You did it.
gist.
Wonderful, wonderful. I did want to get over to Jeffrey's question. I do have an expander on this page. So what he's talking about here is this little button where you can expand or collapse content on a page. So I do want to show that. So I'm going to go into this page here. My design tools should, yep, there they go. So I'm going to put my cursor where I want that collapsible text, which is going to be this guy here. I'm going to put my cursor right in front of that header. Add advanced elements, accordions and tabs. And then what I'm going to do is add cursor. Add cursor. Okay, so now I see a panel heading and panel content. Panel heading and panel content. So what I'm going to do is cut and paste my heading into my heading. All of my content that I want expandable or collapsible, I'm going to paste into the panel content area. And then we have one more decision to make. At this point, it is, I believe it defaults, let me see, actually, before I say the wrong thing. Oh no, it didn't do it yet, okay. We have a decision to make before this will actually work. Let me go back in. Okay. You need to make a decision on whether you want it to be an accordion or an expander. Accordion or an expander. I'm going to go ahead and choose accordion. Okay. And I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, it looks just like this. Right, and if you collapse it, it'll look like that. Let me show you the difference really quickly if I had chosen expander. They're essentially the same thing. Come back over here. If I change this to an expander, show you the difference here. Now you get these buttons for students that tells them, do you want to expand all or collapse all? And I think I broke it. Okay, so this happens. Let me see. That is the only difference though between accordion and expander is it will give that little label for them. I'm trying to figure out how I broke it. I'm not quite sure what I did. So I could go back. This is when I use my page history. Oh. I'm just gonna do this again. Expander. Hopefully that'll work. Nope. Sorry guys, I broke it.
Was it because you picked at block instead of at cursor?
Let's see. So,
That's okay. I see how to do it now.
a little embarrassing that I broke it.
Well,
These are
par for the
slightly,
course.
yeah, slightly finicky. I will say though, once you do it correctly, you can go in and add more panels. Right? If you have multiple things that you'd like them to be able to expand and collapse. So 2 and then, 3. Let's see if it'll even show me. So it is showing 2 and 3. It's just somehow I broke the first one. So you can kind of see there how it will expand the content. So sorry guys, I knew I was going to break something. I wasn't sure which feature I would break, and that was it.
Hey, you did great for the amount of time you've had it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Is there anything in our last few minutes that you would like to see one more time, or
I'm sorry, can you repeat the last tip, please? Just add advanced elements and then where we go?
yeah, and maybe I can just try it on this page that we were working on. So you go to edit. I'm gonna go to add advanced elements, accordions, and tabs. I'm going to add it as a new block. You could do it either way. You could also add it as at the cursor if you wanted to. And then you just choose whether you want an accordion, an expander, or tabs. And then that will give you additional kind of editing tools. And then you can add panels as well if you want multiple things to expand and collapse.
But my cursor should be before the last block, right?
At the end of the last, at the end.
At the end. Okay. Do I have to add the block before that or not?
I'm sorry?
Do I need to add a block before?
I tend to just do at the cursor. It just works. It seems to work better for me to do it at the cursor. But you can do it as a block as well. So this is what an expander will look like when you do it correctly. And then you can expand all, collapse all for students. This is really great if you have extra resources for them, or if you have multiple student samples, you can do student sample 1, student sample 2, or some dive deeper things that they can click on. To access the revision history on the page, you will click on the 3 dots and view page history. And then you can revert back. You can click on these to see what it looked like at that timestamp. And you can kind of see how we progress today.
Good.
With adding the colors and such. And so then whenever you find the one that you want to restore, you will just click restore this version. So I hope that you had fun trying this out. It is, there is a learning curve with this. So you can stop at any point as well. If you just want to do a theme, right? And some blocks, just start with that, right? You don't have to get all fancy the first time you're going through this. I just wanted to make sure I showed you as much as I could in the time we had.
So are we going to get the link to the company that we can do the self?
Yeah, and I can share that here, the design links, excuse me, the courses. I just threw in the chat. If you want to self-enroll in one of the DesignPlus training courses that they have, you can self-enroll in that.
Thank you so
And then
much.
we'll also be sharing out the recording to all of our breakout sessions on our winter camp webpage as well. With that, I will stop sharing and stop the recording, and I can stick around for a couple moments if anybody has any questions.